Today's world of technology is completely dominated by machines, and their behavior is controlled by the software powering it. But who ensures that this software is free of bugs and is working completely fine? Hey everyone, this is Neha from Edureka, and in this session I will tell you why software testing is important and why you should opt this as your career choice. So let's have a look at the agenda for today's session. First, I will tell you what is software testing and why it is important. Next, I will talk about different types of software testing and its various levels. Moving further, we will see difference between manual and automation testing and its market trends. After that, I will give a brief overview about skills required to become a software test engineer. Once you understand the skills required, then I will take you through the various job profiles and its salary trends in testing domain. And finally, I will wrap up the session by naming few companies with which you can kickstart your career in testing domain. Without any further ado, let's get straight into the module. First, let's understand what is software testing. Software testing can be defined as the action for checking if the tangible result or output of the product matches with the expected or projected output. It also ensures that the product is free from any bug or defect. Testing of software also involves the implementation of product's module or system's part for evaluating all or some of its properties. Through testing, tester can identify errors, gaps in the requirement or missing elements in the project. Testing can be done both by manually or with the help of automated tools available in the market. Having understood this, now let's see why software testing is important. It is important because it is cost effective, it provides security, maintains product quality and provides customer satisfaction. And software testing plays a significant role to detect system bugs. It can be expensive and also can lead to a dangerous situation. Bugs in software or application can likely lead to a monetary loss, even loss of jobs or even loss of a human. And that's why testing a software becomes more important before deploying it into the system. Now that you know what is software testing and why it is important, let's move further and understand various types of testing. Quality assurance or software testing is crucial because it identifies errors and bugs from the system at the beginning. By considering the problems in the base, it helps to turn improvement in the quality of the product and brings confidence in it. To get a perfect idea to test the application, it is better to split the testing parameters so that the software testing types may help quality assurance to go thorough. Functional testing and non-functional testing are the two kinds of testing that are performed by the QA or software tester. Types of software testing are the key role where the tester determines the right testing for the applications. Now, let's look at the various types of functional and non-functional testing. First, functional testing types. The functional testing focuses on manual as well as automation testing. A functional testing is a bunch of various types to execute the perfect product. So these are the subtypes, like we have unit testing that allows you to find more bugs at the code level. Whatever you are developing, unit testing applies there, be it a web application or a mobile app development. It is a concept that is up to the discretion of the team whether to use it or not. Next comes integration testing. In this case, every element is treated as an atomic unit or a black box, and at the same time, the interconnections among them are checked and modeled to conduct software testing of a system testing. Next comes system testing, wherein it is a testing of a complete and fully integrated software product. System testing simulates real-life scenarios that can occur in a simulated real-life test environment. It tests all the function of a system. Now talking about interface testing, it verifies the communication between the system are done correctly if all the supported hardware and software has been tested. Next comes regression testing. It is a crucial stage for the product and very useful for the developers to identify the stability of the product, the changing requirements. Regression testing is a type of a testing that is done to verify that a code change in the software does not impact the existing functionality of the product. And the last one is user acceptance testing. It means agreement or approval. It is used to ensure that software is satisfying the functional and performance requirement of an end user. And acceptance testing is a level of software testing where a system is tested for acceptability. The purpose of this test is to evaluate the system's compliance with the business requirements and assess whether it is acceptable for the delivery or not. So this was all about functional testing. Now talking about the non-functional testing, there are a bunch of software testing types that differentiate the job work for the QA while testing the applications. It is a testing that determines the performance of the system and measure, validate or verify quality attribute of the system. The subtypes are documentation testing. It helps to estimate testing efforts required and test coverage matrices. Software documentation includes test plan, test cases and requirement sections. Next, installation testing. This is a type of quality assurance work in the software industry that converges on what customers will need to install and set up the new software successfully. And this testing process may involve full, partial or upgrades, install, uninstall processes, etc. Next we have performance testing. It includes load testing, scalability testing, stress, endurance and spike testing as well. And talking about the reliability testing, it assures that the product is fault-free and is reliable for its intended purpose. It is about exercising an application so that the failures are discovered before the system is deployed onto the environment. And the last that we have on the list is security testing. It is the variant of software testing which ensures that system and applications in an organization are free from the loopholes. It is all about to find all possible weaknesses of the system that might result in the loss of information at the hands of employees. So this was all about non-functional testing. I hope you were able to understand different types of software testing. Now, let's move further and understand the software testing levels and why it is important. First, unit testing. Unit testing is important because it is one of the earliest testing efforts performed on the code, and earlier the defects are detected, they are easier to fix. And pair programmers work as a team and both share in the creation and unit testing of the code. Next we have integration testing. It is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested as a group. The purpose of this level of testing is to expose faults in the interaction between integrated units. Test drivers and test subs are used to assist in integration testing. Next we have system testing. In software development lifecycle, the system testing is performed as the first level of testing where the system is tested as a whole. It enables you to test, validate and verify both the application architecture and business requirements. And that's why it is very important. And the last one we have is acceptance testing. It is vitally important to the successful implementation of any application. This is because failure to do proper user acceptance testing can also result in legal risk, missed deadlines, wasted resources and added cost. So these are the different levels of testing that starts from unit testing and ends at acceptance testing. Having understood this, now let's move further and differentiate between manual and automation testing. First, let's talk about manual testing. Manual testing is a very common manually performed test process by a test engineer. Here, they undergo compilation of the application screens, they take a try on the various uses and combination of inputs and analyze the comparative outcome by handling different hardware configurations. However, an automated testing tool is the one where you have a well-equipped automated firm for test performance. Here you can play back the pre-recorded and predefined actions for effective Here you can play back the pre-recorded and predefined actions for effective results comparison. Automation testing beats manual testing every time. Why? Because it is super fast, requires very less investment in human resource, it is not prone to errors, frequent execution of tests is possible, supports regression and functional testing as well. In case of automation testing, Selenium is the most widely used tool because it is open source. There is no licensing cost involved, and that adds as a major advantages when compared to other automation testing tools. This is why automation software testing is becoming an essential switching over mechanism in the testing domain for successful project tasks. So you can see in this graph about the trends of manual and automation testing. Before 5 years, manual testing was leading the market, but now as everything is automated and due to the advancement in automation tools, automation testing took over the market. Today and in the near future, automation testing will shine in the market. Now let's move ahead and have a look at the generalized roadmap that will help you to become a successful test engineer, be it automation or manual test engineer. First, in order to become a software tester, you need to have a bachelor's degree. You will likely need to earn a bachelor's of engineering degree that is related to the field in which you want to work. For example, if you want to become a software testing engineer, you will need to a bachelor's degree in software engineering. And to become a test engineer, you should determine if the work will suit your skills, traits, ambitions, and desired lifestyle. And individuals who have a natural aptitude in mathematics and science and enjoy working with computers and electronics are typically well suited for this work. To work in this field, you must be comfortable working closely with other professionals like design engineers and managers, and you have to share your opinions with them. Next, you need to know all about the basic principles of software testing, such as finding presence of any sort of defects, how to determine the risk without exhaustive testing, early testing, defect clustering, and how to make the product fulfill business requirements without errors. And if you are new to testing industry, you should have knowledge of these programming languages like C, C++, Java, SQL, Python, HTML, etc. Along with this, if you have a master degree in computer engineering and machine learning statistics or any other certifications, it is just an added advantage. Some of the best certifications for a software test engineer are CAST, that is Certified Associate in Software Testing, and CST, that is Certified Software Test Engineer. And that makes you a successful test engineer. So this was a generalized roadmap for test engineer. As you have gained some insights on this, now let's move ahead and have a look at the job roles for software test engineer. Some of the most common job profiles include software tester, test automation, performance tester, test analyst, and QA engineer. First, let's take a look at the software tester. So these are the statistics provided by LinkedIn on these top profiles. Here you can see the graph for the top companies in software testing. Some of the big names are Accenture, Cognizant, IBM, TCS, and Infosys. You can also take a look at the salary trends, where the average payout will be around 304k in Indian currency and $55,585 in case of US currency. Kind of fair payout, right, if you're a beginner, and this payout will extend up to 686k for an experienced professional in manual testing. And the top skills that are required to become a software tester includes the knowledge of database like SQL, Linux commands, and test management tools like Jira, and also you should have a command on manual testing techniques and approaches. Now let me tell you one thing. As you know, even the day-to-day activities are getting automated, so why waste our time in testing softwares and products manually? Why don't we upgrade to automation to save time, money, and effort? If you are a beginner or an experienced professional in manual testing, do not wait. Just upgrade your skills and choose automation testing for better career growth. So these are the skills required for automation test engineers. In addition to database and testing tools, you should also have a sound knowledge on Selenium, DevOps tools like Docker, AWS scripting language like Java, Python, etc. So these are the skills for having a better career in automation arsenal. Now, let's move ahead and have a look at the various job roles for automation test engineer. First job role will be test automation. Here you can see the graph for the top companies in test automation. Some of the big names are Accenture, Cognizant, IBM, TCS and Infosys. And the top skills that are required to become a test automation engineer includes a knowledge of testing, agile methodologies, SQL, test planning, and you should also need to be well acquainted with manual testing as well. Apart from that, you need to be well acquainted with programming languages like Python, Golang, and JavaScript. You need to be well versed with microservices, Docker, AWS, and Selenium as well. Now, these skills will help you move to a higher position as a test automation engineer, and also it adds up to your appraisal. On an average, the pay scale for test automation engineer is $782K in terms of Indian currency and $73,229 in case of US currency. Now, let's move ahead and have a look at the next job profile. Next is a performance tester profile. Some of the top companies for this job role are IBM, Accenture, TCS, Cognizant, and Capgemini. Now, some of the top industries for performance testers are IT services, computer software, telecommunication, financial services, and banking as well. And United States is considered to be the best preferred location for automation tester, followed by India, UK, Canada, and Australia. Now, some of the must-have skills to become a performance tester includes the knowledge of Selenium, Cucumber, APM, Jira, Java API, languages like Python and Java, and also you must be profound with automation testing tools. On an average, the pay scale for performance tester is around 6 lakhs in Indian currency and $67,917 in case of US currency. Next, we will talk about the test analyst job profile. Now, for this particular role, Bangalore is also one of the top most preferred locations after US, UK, and Australia. And similarly, companies like Accenture, Cognizant, TCS are the top recruiters for this job role. Now, talking about some of the skills, you must be well versed with SQL, Jira, user acceptance test cases, and some of the scripting languages like Python, JavaScript, and also a sound knowledge on automation tools. On an average, the pay scale for test analyst is 6 lakhs in case of Indian currency and $63,000 in case of US currency. Now talking about the last profile, that is QA analyst. This is one of the top trending profile as well, and the graph shows the growth of trends in various companies and various locations as well. Also, it has a very good average salary of around 363 lakhs and 219 in case of Indian currency and $67,497 in case of US currency. So this was all about the top job profiles in software testing domain. Now, let's take a look at the job description of job roles for a generalized test engineer. Depending on the level of expertise, test automation engineer may study and understand what needs to be tested. They develop the test case and prioritize the testing activities. They decide how to test based on the given requirements. They develop and execute all the test cases and defect reports, and also they should have to define severity and priority of the tests and defects. They have to carry out regression testing every time when changes are made to the code. Also, they should check whether testing is going hand in hand with software development and prepare the status report for all the testing activities. And finally, they have to confirm whether the system is working effectively even after the testing is done or not. So these are some of the job roles and descriptions of a test engineer. And these are the few companies with which you can kickstart your career in software testing. Like you have Accenture, LinkedIn, Capgemini, Infosys, IBM, etc. How a software application shapes up during the development process entirely depends on how the software engineering team organizes the work and implements various methodologies. For an application to develop properly, it is important that all processes incorporated during the software development are stable and sustainable. So test engineers can save you from all the world of codes. And enterprises completely agree with the statement, and this is the reason why you see a lot of job opportunities in testing industry. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at the software testing certification courses offered by Edureka. The software testing certification courses at Edureka is designed in such a way that it covers all the tools and skills demanded by the top IT companies in the world. Edureka is a market leader in online software testing training. Edureka has also trained well over 30,000 students all around the globe in the field of software testing. Now let's focus on what the course has to offer. It comprises of Selenium certification, manual testing, Ruby with Cucumber, and automation testing using Test Compete. As Selenium is a trending topic, let's take an inside look at it. So it will help you in mastering the various concepts of Selenium from scratch. The Selenium training will help you master important concepts like TestNG, Selenium ID, Grid, XPath, and Weights. And let's take a look at the curriculum. So you will be learning about Introduction to Selenium and its components, Java Basics, XPath, handling different controls on web pages, and TestNG as well. And also you will get a hands-on along these frameworks, and you will also learn Jenkins, Git, Maven, etc. And in the next couple of weeks, we are launching new courses on fundamentals of software testing, mobile testing with APM, performance testing with JMeter, and continuous testing with DevOps. Also, we are coming up with software testing masters program that comprise all the existing courses and the upcoming courses that I have just now defined. If you wish to become a certified expert in testing domain, then you just have to enroll yourself to these courses, which is a complete package for you to become a certified expert in testing domain. This is a one-stop solution for you to master software testing and kickstart your career with it. So this was all about today's session, and I hope this will help you in the long run to prepare yourself and get well versed with the skills in order to kickstart your career with software testing. If you have any queries, please let us know in the chat box and we will reply with you at the earliest. So that's all for this session. Thank you and have a nice day.